So good afternoon, guys. The topic which we're gonna discuss today is network layers. A network layer is concerned with getting packets from the sources all the way to the destination with minimal cost. Unlike the DLL, which has the more modest goal of just moving frames from one end of the wire to the other. So network layer is the lowest layer that deals with the end-to-end transmission, as you guys know. And coming to the issues which we have in the design layer of the network, store and forward packet switching, services provided to the transport layer, implementation of connectionless services, implementation of connection-oriented service, comparison of virtual circuit and datagram networks. And moving on to this, the detailed explanation on each one. First one, store and forward packet switching. Here, as you could see the diagram here, a host with a packet to send transmits it to the nearest router. Then the packet is stored there until it has fully arrived. Then the link has finished its processing by verifying the checksum. Then it is forwarded to the next router along with the path until it reaches the destination host. This mechanism is store and forward packet switching. A service provided to the transport layer. Before providing this service to the transport layer, following goals must be kept in the mind. One, the service should be kept independent of the router technologically, and the second one is the transport layer should be shielded from the number, type, topology of the router present. The network addresses made available to the transport layer should use a uniform numbering plan even across LANs and WANs. Is services provided to the transportation layer such as connection oriented service, connectionless service, packet switching, a datagram, a virtual circuit. Which service is the best? Moving on to this question, the discussion is about on whether the network layer should provide connection oriented service or connectionless service. Represented by the internet community argues that the router jobs is moving packets around and nothing else. The other camp, represented by the telephone companies, argues that the network should provide a reliable connection oriented service. Implementation of services includes packets are injected into the network individually and routed independently of each other. No advanced setup is needed here. So in this context, the packets are frequently called datagram. So moving on to this implementation part of the connectionless service, with the instruction to deliver it to process P2 on the host H2, as you could see in the diagram, the transport layer code runs on H1 typically with the operating system. It prepares the transport header to the front of the message and hands to the result to the network layer, probably just another procedure within the operating system. So moving on to the comparison of virtual circuit and datagram networks, here the issue which we have in the virtual circuit is circuit setup. In that datagram network is not required, whereas in virtual circuit network we require the circuit setup. The other factors which we consider here is addressing state information, routing, effect of router failures, quality of service, congestion control. All this has some comparison between datagram network and virtual circuit network. By the way, the virtual circuit network provides the best service to the network designing layer. So that's our about the networking layer area. Thank you everyone. Bye bye.